What you're looking at is the only object in the world that is worth $18.9 million, but can also get you arrested by the US Secret Service just for touching it. This is the 1933 Saint-Gaudens Double Eagle, the holy grail of forbidden gold. In this investigation, we are going deep into the shadows of the US Mint to uncover why this specific gold coin was ordered to be destroyed, and how a few specimens escaped the furnace to become the most expensive assets on the planet. Today, we're breaking down 4 massive secrets. First, the Great Gold Heist, and how these coins were smuggled out of the mint during a national emergency. Second, the King Farouk loophole, the incredible clerical error that made one single coin legal while the rest remained stolen property. Third, the $100 million seizure, the heartbreaking story of a family who found 10 of these coins only to have the government take them all. And finally, the forensic ID, how to tell a genuine strike from the dangerous fakes. This isn't just money, it's a century of government secrets. Let's get into the evidence. To understand why this coin is forbidden, we have to look at April 5, 1933. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Executive Order 6102, a move that changed American history forever. It was the height of the Great Depression, and the government needed to stabilize the economy by hoarding gold. Every citizen was ordered to return their gold coins to the Federal Reserve. Consequently, the 1933 Double Eagles, which had just been struck at the Philadelphia Mint, were locked away. They were never put into circulation. In 1937, the mint began melting them into gold bullion. 2 were sent to the Smithsonian Institution for preservation, and the rest were supposed to be gone forever. But a corrupt mint employee and a local jeweler had other plans. They managed to smuggle a small number of these coins out of the facility. For decades, the Secret Service tracked them down, seizing coins from collectors in the 1940s and 50s. Every coin was considered stolen government property, except for one that made it across the Atlantic to Egypt. This brings us to a massive ethical and legal question that still divides the collecting world today. I am launching a poll on your screen right now. If the government melts down a coin, but you legally purchased a surviving specimen, should you be allowed to keep it, or does it belong to the mint? This question is at the heart of the 1933 Double Eagle legend. Many collectors argue that once a coin leaves the building, it's a historical artifact, while the government argues it's stolen property. Your vote helps us gauge how modern hunters view the ethics of coin collecting. While you cast your vote, think about the pressure of holding a coin that is worth $18 million, but could also get you arrested. It's the ultimate high-risk, high-reward scenario. The results of this poll often show a deep divide between those who respect the law and those who value the preservation of history above all else. By participating, you are helping the Facebook algorithm recognize this as a high-engagement educational deep dive. Let's see where the Diggin' Dave community stands. The reason one 1933 Double Eagle is legal to own while others are not comes down to a technicality involving King Farouk of Egypt. In 1944, the Egyptian king purchased one of these coins and applied for a U.S. export license. Through a massive bureaucratic error, the U.S. Treasury actually granted the license. By the time the Secret Service realized their mistake and tried to get the coin back, World War II and political tensions made it impossible. The coin vanished when the king was deposed in 1952, only to reappear in London in 1996. This led to a historic legal standoff. The solution? A unique agreement where the coin was officially issued by the U.S. Mint on the day of its sale in 2002, making it the only 1933 Double Eagle that can be legally owned by a private citizen. Every other specimen, including the 10 coins found by the Langbord family in a safe deposit box in 2004, was seized and sent to Fort Knox. Understanding this legal provenance is the difference between owning a multi-million-dollar asset and a piece of evidence in a criminal case. If you think the mystery ended in 2002, you are wrong. In 2004, the story took a shocking turn when the Langbord family, descendants of the jeweler who originally smuggled the coins, announced they had found 10 more 1933 Double Eagles in a family safe deposit box. Thinking the legal climate had changed, they sent the coins to the mint for authentication. Instead of getting them back, the Secret Service seized all 10. This sparked a decade-long legal battle that went all the way to the Supreme Court. The Langbords argued that the government couldn't prove the coins were stolen. The government argued that since no 1933 Double Eagles were ever legally issued, any specimen in private hands must be stolen. In 2017, the courts finally ruled in favor of the government. Those 10 coins, worth an estimated $100 million, were moved to Fort Knox, where they remain today, never to be sold. This case proved that the government will never stop hunting these coins, making the Farouk specimen an even more valuable rarity. Let's talk about the record-breaking numbers. In June 2021, the only legally owned 1933 Double Eagle was sold at Sotheby's. The world watched as the bidding climbed past $15 million, finally settling at $18.9 million. This set a world record for any coin ever sold at auction. Why such a high price? Because it is the ultimate trophy asset. For a billionaire collector, owning the only legal 1933 Double Eagle is the ultimate status symbol. But how do you identify a real one? A genuine 1933 strike has a specific high-relief luster and a weight of exactly 33.43 grams of 90% gold. The forensic markers include a sharp, distinct strike on Lady Liberty's torch and the eagle's feathers. Many fakes exist, often made from melted gold of other years, but they lack the specific dye polish lines found on the original Philadelphia Mint strikes. This auction proved that coins are no longer just a hobby. They are a legitimate asset class that rivals fine art. If you are tracking the value of your own collection, remember that condition, rarity, and legal status are the two pillars of wealth. The 1933 Double Eagle is the king of coins, but the hunt for hidden gold doesn't end here. There are still rumors of 2 or 3 more specimens hidden in European bank vaults that were never recovered by the Secret Service. But while we wait for those to surface, there is another gold coin, much more recent, that was accidentally struck on a silver planchet and is worth over $250,000. It could be in a regular estate sale or an old collection near you. In my next video, I'm going to give you the specific weight test and edge check to identify this modern gold rarity before the rest of the market catches on. You do not want to miss the technical breakdown of that discovery. Make sure you are subscribed to the Diggin' Dave and have your notifications set to all. Our community is where the real hunters meet. Drop a comment below. Do you think the Langbord family should have kept their 10 coins? I read every reply. Until next time, keep your eyes on the history and keep on digging.